Okay, good, good, good.
Uja, everyone, we'll be starting in just a couple of minutes. It's restarting the Firefox.
Pooja?
Hello. My name's Susan. Has the meeting started?
Pooja.
I can't hear. I can't hear anyone.
Okay. Can you hear me, Uja?
Uja, yes, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Is anyone speaking just now?
Pooja, everyone. Does everyone have sound, first of all? Okay, very well. Seem to be having technical issues today. Of course, just before there's some kind of a plugin or something running that is causing a problem somewhere, and I tried restarting Firefox, but it seems to be still having a problem. Okay. Which everyone, can everyone see the desktop also? Uja, let me know if you can see the desktop as well. Okay, very well. I'll try the video cam and see if that is going to work. Do everyone, and thank you for joining the orientation meeting. This is the third orientation meeting for the trip to Kemet. We'll probably have at least another one in a month and just before the trip and that kind of thing. First of all, I invoke to our chant. O Mamu Rapta, O Mamu Rapta, O Mamu Rapta, O Mamu Rapta, O Mete, Pete, Pete. Greetings, everyone. This is going to be hopefully a brief orientation meeting and Q&A about the trip. There may be some people who have not joined us before. If you haven't, you can look at the other, the previous two orientation meetings. This one will be posted with those after we're finished. But everything is still relevant that was said in those orientation meetings as well. I guess this is kind of an update, as well as answering any questions for new people. And also we'll go over those of you who have paid. I have a listing. It's not up to date, but I have a listing of those of you who have sent in payments, either through PayPal or through check and money order. So we'll go over that as well to make sure that what you sent in is what we have a record of and all that kind of thing. And we'll go over a couple of security issues and things of that nature as well. Okay, just a quick overview. Everyone knows the upcoming trip. And you can see the countdown. We're at 2 months and a week and a day and a few hours and minutes and so on. The trip that is upcoming in October. And let me go over the itinerary very quickly. There are several articles in there that you should read, but we went over those in the previous orientation meetings. I'm going to Yes, the menu on this site is taking up a lot of space. Let me see if I can go to... See, they're having trouble with Firefox anyway today, so let's see if this improves anything. Okay, well, that is opening up. Let's try to start with this anyway. It's a little small, so I'm trying to make it larger. try something else here. No. Well, I think it's going to be the same. So anyway. So the trip begins technically on October 1st, and that's day one, as you can see here on the itinerary. And so that is when most of us will be departing from the United States, and or from other parts that are farther away. And it takes a day to get to Africa. So you arrive on day two in Cairo, and then going from there, getting a transfer directly to the city of Luxor, which is in the south. And then we'll have a meeting that evening. So everyone should try to get there by late afternoon. And then we'll have an orientation meeting, and the sightseeing begins on the next day, which is day three. And we're going to begin in the city of Luxor, where we're going to be staying. We're going to be staying there overnight. And then we're going to be leaving that hotel and going to the Temple of Karnak. And then we will also be stopping on the way at the Temple of Het-Heru. By the late afternoon, we will arrive in Abydos, or Abdu, and then we'll be staying there, of course, overnight for the next 6 nights. And that is when we're going to begin the seminar program in Abdu. And we'll be having, for the next several days, we'll have several visits of the Temple of Asar, and some other sites in the general area. In the general area of Abdu, we'll have a morning meditation program, and perhaps also there will be Egyptian yoga done as well. And then in the evening, there will be an evening program after dinner. There will be an evening program. But before that, in the afternoon, there will be reflection time and personal time. And then in the evening, there will be a lecture, and there will be a brief kind of worship time, divine singing worship time, and meditation. That will be the basic sequence, as you can see here on the schedule, until the final day. We had discussed previously about doing a special ritual in the temple, and that is still being organized. It's been organized with the location. We still have a few, I guess, minor things to iron out. But then we have to decide if there'll be enough persons to sustain the cost of it. And then we will do that on the evening. And that will be the evening program for that day. The last day in Abdu, that'll be the last night in Abdu. And then on day 9, we will head out back to Luxor. And then we will be going to the temple of Luxor, of Amun of Luxor. And we will be there for the afternoon, the later afternoon, and into the evening. And then they will be, we'll have the like we had last time. We will have a meeting there. We will have a gathering. And hopefully, like last time, there will not be many people. But this is going to be October, so it might be a little different. So we'll find a quiet spot to meet, away from the crowd, after we show all the special spots. And that will be the evening program for that night. That'll be the final night. And then on day 10 this will be at Luxor in the morning. We'll be leaving Luxor to go back to Cairo and to take flights, where everyone is going. I think some of you have decided that you want to stay over, at least one of you. So still, I think Sham's Harit, I need to know exactly what program you want to do, but that's what he asked for. So that, but before I get into that, the evening program, what is going to happen in the program during the day, during the mornings, after breakfast, we'll go and visit the temple. We'll be doing special studies. First we'll have a general review of the temple, then we'll have special, specific things to look at and to spend time with and meditate upon. So this trip is not going to be so much like we're going to be walking and running through this and seeing that. That'll be like the first couple of times, and then after that, we will be focusing on special rooms. And if it was like last time, that we were the only ones there, basically, we will be able to, and in Abydos it's very likely that it will be, because not many people stay overnight there. Especially in early morning and then the later afternoon, the caravans come through and then they leave. But we should be able to have quiet time and be able to have to actually sit and to look quietly and intensively at specific glyphs and images to really take it in. And then in the evening, we will be talking about those and how they relate to the Asar Resurrection myth, the special teaching contained on the wall inscriptions. And there's some special things that I did not talk about last time that I'm going to be talking about this time that are highly mystical and highly promoting of the spiritual evolution. And then on the final evening, so that'll be the program during the days. So there are going to be special lectures planned, and there's going to be special teachings given on each day, and all coming together by the end, and kind of culminating in the final ritual. Okay. Any questions so far about that? Your phone is too loud, so there's something going on. Your phone is kind of. Oh, hold on.
Go ahead and mute it and I'll use the phone.
Excuse me?
Go ahead and mute.
No, I think your computer is unmuted and your phone is okay. Now I'll try the phone.
Uja?
Yeah, your computer and your phone were on at the same time. So
Can you hear me now?
yeah, go ahead. There's still an echo. I'm not sure why. I'm gonna mute myself. No, I think you have to mute your computer.
Uja?
Okay, now we're okay.
I was going to say a couple things about the schedule. That it's, first of all, a tentative schedule. It's likely going to be adjusted as we move closer to the program, and possibly there might be some adjustments when we're there based on how things are on the ground. But it's a tentative schedule. In the mornings also, likely there will be morning worship and Jeff Neteru, or maybe we'll do the Jeff Neteru exercise postures in the evening, but that'll be offered sometime during the course of the day. There'll likely be morning worship and meditation as is on the schedule. There is not going to be a lunch break, right, Tibama, as far as I'm aware. Breakfast probably will be more of like a brunch. So it's probably going to be like a little bit later in the morning, like around 10-ish or something, 9-ish, 10-ish. Like after the morning worship program, then we'll prepare, have breakfast, and then after breakfast leave for the temple. There's no lunch that is going to be served formally because the plan we have, the meal plan is for 2 meals a day. So it's going to be a brunch and then dinner. If anybody wanted to have lunch or needed to have lunch, you can arrange that with the hotel directly with yourself, and they would prepare something for you. You would just have to let them know, and whatever fee they charged, that would be their fee. So you can let them know. But the lunch really is just like a break, I guess we have. And so I think those were just the things I wanted to say, Shibama, about the program. That we'll likely have adjustments through session. We'll have a morning worship or an evening worship, usually on the days. And I will be sending out an email when we have everyone paid, when we have a list of everybody who's paid, who's coming on the trip, of suggestions for items you can bring for snacks, for protein. So we'll do that as we get closer towards the end, because people have been asking different questions about what to bring and what the menu will be like. Also, those of you who have been on the trip before, if you wanted to send me any suggestions based on the previous meals you had at the House of Life, you're welcome to do so. I sent out some emails and I got responses from a few people already. I don't know if there's anything different to add. Mostly what I got were, an option of fruits for breakfast, more fruits for breakfast, and I think that was the main one. For lunch, what we're going to try to do is, last time we were able to buy watermelon, so probably we're going to try to buy some watermelon. This will be separate from the hotel, and so hopefully maybe when we come back from the temple, we'll be able to have sliced watermelon to just cool off it a bit. Okay, Sabama, that was it. That's it.
Okay, on day 3 in the evening, there's nothing scheduled because it's a kind of a long day, a traveling day, but we'll probably have at least an orientation meeting on that night. And if not, just a brief evening worship. That was just one last thing I was going to say about that. But the schedule can change depending on conditions and things of that nature. So what I was saying before is that, like, Shamsari wanted to stay over after the program finishes on the 10th. Those of you who want to do something of that have the option. But this is going to be separate from the program. But we can find out from the tour guide what the cost would be for staying over and you're going to whatever other sites that you want to go to. A lot of people do that. Like, for instance, there are many other things. Like, once we're in the last day, if you want to stay over on the 10th, there are many other things to see and do in the Luxor area. So while we're there, we're going to definitely try to see the tomb of Nefertari and Seti Ua. These are additional or optional, and they have additional costs to do them. They're not part of the main trip, but we are going to try to have time. We're going to leave early in the morning on the 9th, day 9, to get back to Luxor to do those things. We did add, I think, one other thing. Thought we added the Luxor Museum. So I think that has been added to the program without extra cost. So because I didn't update things yet, but I believe that's one thing that was added. There's a question there. So there was one thing before I get to the question. Yeah. Okay. When flying into Cairo, a transfer to Luxor has to be done. Where in Luxor are people to meet in the group? In Luxor, okay. That was one of the other issues. There is when you get to the airport in Luxor, you'll be transferred to the hotel. And I think the cost for that was $25. And so there will be a car there to meet you with your name. I don't necessarily recommend taking taxis at this point, although that is possible. And it costs more to have a car, especially there to meet you and things like that. But for security issues, it's probably the best thing to do at this time. And so they'll take you to the hotel, and then we will meet at the hotel on day 2 in the evening. Does that answer the question? So when you're getting the air, you're actually getting your air from wherever you're coming from to Cairo, and then Cairo to Luxor. So that's like an intra-country flight. So like if you're traveling to the United States, it would be like you're like going to some major city like Atlanta, and then you're going to take like a commuter flight, to a little city like Augusta or something like that. I don't know the name of the hotel in Luxor yet. He gave me a couple of choices, but I don't know the name of the hotel yet. But we'll find that out soon, because there were a few choices. And my understanding is that that things are cool there and everything. And last time also we walked the city and everything like that, so everything should be okay. Wise. Okay. Any other questions so far?
I have a question.
Hello, go ahead. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Are you traveling together from the US, or are you traveling separately to fly to Cairo? I'm just deciding whether I should try and meet your group in the US or whether I should meet you in Luxor.
Right. We're not traveling as a whole group, but there are some people who are traveling from different parts, and there are several people coming out of Atlanta. A few people, from different states, and so if anyone wants to get together with other people, you can send an email to the email group, or we can discuss it right now. You can let everyone know where you're coming from, and if anyone is nearby, you can get together. But we have the email group that's been set up that everyone should be a member of. Or if you're not a member of, you can send your email, and it will join you so that everyone can communicate within the group who's going. So if you want to go with the people out of Atlanta, you can do that, or you can go directly, on your own as well. So we decided to do it that way because it got a little complicated. And so we're just handling the ground portion of the trip. And then everyone is taking care of their own air. Because some people might be cheaper, doing it from different cities as opposed to how we had it out of New York or something like that. So that part is up to you.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll be traveling probably from Asheville airport. I don't know if anybody's in this area.
What state is that in?
That's North Carolina.
Okay. Yeah, I believe, I'm not sure they're on, but I believe Sir Rotem and Sir Amunti were going to be going, and they are in North Carolina. I'm not sure where they were going to fly from, if it's Charlotte or Raleigh-Durham, I'm not sure. So you can send an email. I can put you in contact with them if they're not on.
Okay. What's the correct email address, just to make sure I'm sending it to the right address?
Just send it to EgyptianYoga@AOL.com.
Sorry, say that again?
Egyptian Yoga.
Okay, that one.
Look on, Egyptian Yoga, all one word, at AOL.com.
Okay. All right, I've got that. And can I just confirm that my name is actually on the list yet? I haven't paid yet because I wasn't sure if I should be trying to combine flight costs. But if I'm just going to meet you there in Luxor, then I know I'm just paying for the tour. So how much would that be, and is there an address that I can send the payment to? Because I was having problems with the website.
Okay. What problems were you having with the website, first of all?
I usually have phone problems and website problems, but it wouldn't link. It just kept telling me that the page didn't exist.
Okay, because I'm on it right now, displaying it right now for the meeting. But anyway, just send an email to EgyptianYoga@AOL.com, and we'll send you all the particulars and the procedure for everything. Basically, for the ground portion of the trip, it's $1,100, and then the flights that I had seen are they were around $850, and I'm not sure they've changed. So the whole program should come out to about $2,000 or $2,100, somewhere in that area.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Say, Mama?
Me? No.
You mentioned $25 to get from Luxor to the hotel. I mean, Luxor Airport to the hotel in Luxor. That is
Right.
additional.
Right. Correct. That was not included.
So that is additional, and then the visa that you pay in Cairo is additional.
And that's another 25. Is that what you said?
I think so, right? Something like that.
Getting my camera froze again as usual. Are there any other questions before we go to the next topic? Shamsaranet said, "What does Sebajah say?" I think she was mentioning that there are two additional costs you have to be expecting, and one is to get your visa in Cairo, and then there's for the taxi. It's not really a taxi; it's a car transfer from the airport in Luxor to the hotel, and then after that, everything is part of the program, all the transportation and everything like that. So when you go into the airport, when you arrive and when you leave, so you have to plan on that. Okay, so there's one issue I want to talk about because that's a concern, and we have to be mindful, and that's the issue of the security. Uh, since our last meeting, several international incidents have happened. Some terrorist incidents and people who are distressed or otherwise also insane or otherwise seeking revenge have I guess that they've taken to do terrorist attacks. Although some of the attacks and things that are going on are not exactly necessarily what they seem. Like, for instance, the attempted coup in Turkey. Apparently, it's coming out now that was sponsored by the CIA because Erdogan, the president there, was not doing what they wanted to do, or allowing them to do attacks against Syria, and so they wanted to stop him and get him out. So it's and in France, the attacks going on there, it's very particular and strange that there's an attack every time that they're just about to remove the state of security, the martial law, and then an attack happens, so they have to extend it. So that's what I say, to avoid France, avoid Turkey, and the Middle Eastern country. Any flights that go through Istanbul or France, I think those are to be avoided. These are countries that are heavily involved with attacks against Syria and Iraq and all of that, and they're being retaliated against. But also there are some political intrigue, false flag things they're called, going on as well. So you just want to stay out of that. Egypt is doing repression against their own population. There's no violence per se going on now that should concern us. The regime, they're going to call it that, the government, because we have a regime here too, was elected, but they are not. They're basically a police state, and we have no other choice if we want to visit Egypt but to deal with them, and so that's what we're doing. Although they are repressing the young people in the population and other things. So if we thought that the security issue was detrimental, we would cancel the trip. I don't think and it's not expected that we would be canceling for that reason. But I'm just giving an update to what it is. And I also said to avoid Egypt Air. Because they were caught up in that mayhem. Their flight a few months ago stopped in Paris, and then it blew up over the Mediterranean. So I would avoid Egypt Air as well. So I think my understanding from communicating with our people in Abdu, is that things are safe, things are as it was last time, and maybe even a little quieter right now. And for travel around, there's some few protests and different incidents going on in Cairo, which is why we decided not to extend the trip into Cairo. But I think for those of you who want to go like kind of individually or kind of in smaller groups, I think it'll be fine. Yeah, even in larger groups, probably okay. But we did not want to take on the responsibility of that at this time. So I think that it's all right as far as the security issue stands today. And if any update is needed, it will be done. You'll be given an update. And like I say, if for any reason we thought that there was some kind of undue danger, but sort of in passing, and satirically, not really humoristically, I was kind of saying to Sabja that we're concerned about security on the trip to Egypt, but some of us should be more concerned with security in this country, the violence of the police against the population, and so on and so forth. I don't have to go into details into that. An incident just happened here in Miami that most of you have probably heard about. It's interesting that the government of Bahamas gave an advisory against, for young men who are coming to the United States to be careful. And based on the incident here in Miami, that advisory should be changed to a ban, because the advisory says, if you're approached by the police, don't do anything, hold your hands up, and don't antagonize them. This gentleman did not antagonize anybody. He had his hands up, and they still shot him anyway. So, my point is that we have to do what we have to do, and you have to also rely on your positive RU that you have, but you're not going to be stupid or irresponsible either. You're not going to give the net to do an undue burden of taking care of you by walking into a hail of bullets or something like that. That's nonsense. Okay? Any questions about that issue before we go on? So I think we'll be able to have a very good trip, and especially with the kinds of things that I have planned. I think it's going to be very beneficial. And just one thing, the issue with Cairo, those of you who want to go to visit pyramids and things like that, some care should be taken, or you should be very aware of your surroundings and things like that, because when we were there last year, some police got attacked by I assume it's the Brotherhood, the Muslim Brotherhood. And there was some attacks recently against police there at the gates as well. So they should exercise caution. So I was going to be doing some special research, but I say I'm going to be doing that more on a private basis. But I will be going, unless there's some other issue going on. But I'm not going to go to Giza. I was going to be going to some of the other pyramids to do some special studies. But it's not going to be for long, probably just be for the day. Okay. So the other issue is, just wanted to go over those of you who have sent in payments. And like I said, I don't have this updated yet, for this week anyway. I've been trying to keep up with it as I see things on PayPal, but I have not looked through, with a fine-tooth comb. So anyway, we have Shims Harit, Grace Watkins. I have two payments from you for $200 and $720. I'm not sure if you had sent additional, but you can let me know what the payments, additional payments were, and just send an email, and I'll go and verify it and put it on the list. Nikita Panton, $200 deposit. Dreams of Nia, $200. Rhonda Cooper, $200. Latanya Wallace, Shamsiashi, $200. Sandra McMurray and Companion, $200 each. Carol Pine, $200. Jasmine Mitchell, and I think there's a Companion there also. So, and there are full payments for them as well. Okay, that's what I have so far. I have to go through with a fine-tooth comb, but if you send additional payments that I did not mention there, no, actually, Shemji has two payments. Well, three payments: 200, 200, and 300. Right. Okay. Any questions about that so far? So you can send payments through PayPal as friends and family, and that way they won't charge any fees for the transfer. And just send a note saying it's for the trip. Or you can send a money order or a check, and the address is on the website. Or you can send an email, and we'll send you the address to send to. Okay, so as of now, the trip is still on, and we don't have expectation of canceling. And so I think it's going to be a very nice program. And yeah, probably on that day 3, what we'll probably do is to go over some of the things that we saw in those 2 temples of the morning, because it's going to be kind of a long day. We'll be talking about it while we're on the trip, but we'll probably have a little meeting at the end also if there's time. So we'll leave that open as a maybe. Samajal, was there anything else? Samajal, nothing else? Okay, anyone else have any questions? Okay. Anyone else have any questions or comments or anything? I think as we get closer, I'd say we'll probably have another 1 or 2 orientation meetings, and I'll probably go into a little more details into the program and the kinds of things that we're going to be seeing and things of that nature. So right now we're kind of doing more like technical issues related to the trip. So I think that there are several people who said they wanted to go who are not on the orientation meeting right now. So we will, and some have asked to pay their deposits and things later, because we had said that we're trying to get all payments in by October 2nd. So that's being extended to the end of October. Sorry, to the end of August. So we can have sufficient time to get everything together and let them know how many people are coming and all that kind of thing. Okay, sure. No questions or anything? What is extended to the end of August? For those who need more time to send in their payments for the ground portion of the trip. So everyone should try to send their deposits at least, and then the rest of the payments by the end of August. And definitely I'm going to be, like I said before, on this day 9, we're going to be heading out early to get back to Luxor and I'm not sure how many people are going to be in Egypt. How many tourists are going to be in Egypt around that time? But I want to make sure to arrange beforehand, because I said there's going to be limits to the number of people who can get into the tombs of Nefertari and Seti the First. And I've never been in them, and they haven't been open like for 30 years or something like that, or for people who have, special connections. Because I tried to give bakshish to some people several times, and I could not get, bakshish is the word for tip, but it's really a bribe. And so I never was able to get into those. So they're special for several reasons. The tomb of Nefertari is probably the best preserved and restored of all of the temples or tombs in all of Kemet. And one of the special panels I discussed a few weeks ago on the Saturday night program, and the tomb of Seti the First is also well preserved, but it also has one of the renditions of the teaching of the glorious light meditation. So those are very special sites to be able to see firsthand. So anyway, those are additional costs, and he was trying to find out, but the article that I read online said it was going to be like $100 or $125, something like that. So if you want to do that, you should be getting, letting me know that as well, so that we can start making those reservations for the number of people who want to go and do that. This is going to be an optional part of the trip. This is not included. So those who do not want to do that don't have to, and those who do, we have to have a special, reserve the time for that day, so that we can be one of the people that they allow to get in that day. So that should be done, as soon as possible. I believe that is a good question. If it's the cost is per tomb, my understanding when I read the article, this is a few weeks ago, was that it was separate, rather that it was together, but they were getting things together at that time. And Adam, our tour guide, he was finding out about it, and he I'm not sure he got back to me yet on that, but I'll check with him again on these couple of points that we're going over. So hopefully it's all together, and it's a very high premium as far as these things go. But they're trying to get people to come back to Egypt after everything that's gone on. Their tourism is down probably to the lowest level, like in 100 years or something, and their income from the tourism is hurting the country because it's so low. But on the other hand, it's good because I remember once I went to Abdu in the year 2000, and this hotel was not there, so we didn't use them. And all you can really do, they had really this junky places to stay, so I never even thought about it. So I went. I went 3 times back in 2000. But one of the times, I went, and those huge travel buses, the huge ones. I mean, there's like a Trailways or Greyhound bus. I don't know if they still have those companies, but those huge buses that people go across state with and across the country with and things like that. There was some of you know the area right in front of the temple there's a large area that they're fixing up. But anyway, there were I try to remember. It's been a while, but there were probably like at least like a dozen of those buses, full, packed with people, and they would arrive there, and so it was like a busy city street in New York where people are trying to jam into a store to buy stuff. And you're shoulder to shoulder people walking through places, and but even then it was awesome. But now with the way things are so down, you can actually breathe and you can actually look from one end of the temple to another and not have anybody in front of you walking around or looking or people talking and saying things that are disturbing and all that kind of thing, or it should be a minimum. So anyway, during the summer, it was last year. It was extremely sparse. So this is going to be October, so there's probably maybe a little more people because it's cooler. But I think people are still, concerned, so that they're not going to Egypt. So on that side, it's positive for us because they'll have a much better experience from that standpoint. Okay, so we'll find out about the entrance fees for the tombs, and make sure about the transfers and the other items that we're discussing. And like I say, those of you who want to do extended portion of the trip after the 10th, or starting on the 10th, you need to send a detailed thing of what you want to do and how many days, and then he can give a quote to you of the additional cost for those things. Okay, anything found before we conclude? Go ahead and conclude. Any questions, go send it to EgyptianYoga@AOL.com. And I guess it would be good if everyone can let us know what cities you're flying out of, and then we can maybe make a list and pass it around to everyone if you want others to know. Some of you may want to travel independently or alone, and that's fine too. Sabajah and I are going to be flying out of Miami. I'm not sure if which city we're going to be stopping through or which countries. Probably Rome, and I was looking into maybe Greece also as well. So we'll let us know which city you're flying out of. That way, if anyone else wants to fly with you, they can, or you can go with them. Organize things like that. And any other issues, just send an email, and then we'll deal with them. Okay. Dua for joining the orientation meeting. Oh Mamurapta. Oh Mamurapta. Oh Mamurapta. Oh Mamurapta. Om Hatep Hatep Hatep. Hatep.